Hey, and welcome to an episode of Late Night. It's New Year's Eve in the States. It is 2021 over here in New Zealand already. So we're literally in different time zones. But Matt, how are you feeling?
Why'd you say different? We are always in different time zones. What you should have said is we're in different years, which
That's
we
what I meant.
technically are. But you
That's
said
what I meant
time
to say.
zones. See, right off the bat, people, Malcolm trying to be clever failed. Hi, everybody. Hi, all. I'm going to just assume hundreds of viewers on this New Year's Eve because you're all quarantined. And I'm sure there's no one else doing streams right now. No John Rokas, no Mark Ellis's with a bunch of comedians. No. We are the only people streaming on New Year's Eve right now. So, clearly, there must be many, many of you. Why am I doing weird shit with my fingers? Because I just came up with this bit right now.
But yeah, there really is no structure to this.
As if there's a lot of structure when we do a normal late night.
That is true.
Well, no, late night's usually pretty structured. I mean, we do movie news, and then we do from movie news leads into a topic, which then divulges into pure stupidity.
Yeah, I mean that's what I meant. That's
You're under caution.
There's usually a minimal structure, but in this one there really is. What I decided just not do a topic. Like I don't really have a lot of movie news, but there's one that we did talk about off screen that broke a few days ago. But so we'll start off with that. I've sent links out to people. Some people said they will pop in for a bit. So we'll see on if when they turn up in that. But the first topic that sort of came up that I just saw today, I didn't really notice, is that Richard Donner has confirmed he is coming back to direct Lethal Weapon 5. Matt, you did talk about this off screen, off here, but talk about it on here.
Yeah. So, Lethal Weapon is my favorite action movie series, bar none. I love it. I think those four movies are all great. They're all infinitely rewatchable. I think 4 was a great cap to the series. But my thing is, I think if Richard Donner is coming back, it's because he has a story he wants to tell. Lethal Weapon 4 came out in 98, so it's not really like it's milking the franchise. I mean, you had that disastrous Fox series that was out a couple years ago, which the trailer just looked so bad that I didn't even bother with it. So I think maybe that jump started Richard Donner to be like, I gotta take it back. Look, I want the whole cast back. I want Gibson, I want Glover, I want Rene Russo, I want Joe Pesci, I want Chris Rock, I want the actresses and actors who played Murtaugh's family. I want them all back because that is the great thing about the Lethal Weapon movies is they never cheaped out on that. Like you look at like Rocky, it's like Rocky's son is played by like he's played by, if you don't count the baby in Rocky 2, there's one kid in Rocky 3, one kid in Rocky 4, there's Sage Stallone in Rocky 5, and then there's the actor I can't remember from Rocky Balboa, and he shows up at the end of Creed 2. So over the course of those movies, there are 4 separate actors who play Rocky's son. That doesn't happen in Lethal Weapon. The kids from Lethal Weapon 1 are the young adults in Lethal Weapon 4. Glover's wife never changes. Joe Pesci, once he's introduced in 2, he keeps coming back for 3 and 4. The police captain's always the same. The psychologist is always the same. So which sadly she passed away, I think last year or the year before, so she can't be back. But like, that's just what I want. Like, I want everyone to be back. and I have my own pitch for the movie if Richard Donner needs it. I got it for you, buddy. I got it. So if you want it, you have your people call my people, which is just me. So call me, Richard. We'll talk about Superman because I love Superman and Lethal Weapon. Call me, Richard.
And a
Okay. I'm cooking a turkey. I just came to say hello, peace and love, and I want to stay here for the next 10 minutes. So continue.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
But yeah,
Abe's got a screen on Mamma Mia too. He's got to get to.
but yeah,
I
really
actually just bought it on iTunes.
Fucking course you did. Oh my god.
But yeah, like the real, but Abe, what are your thoughts about Richard Donner coming back to direct Lethal Weapon 5?
You know, I don't. I watched 1, 2, and 4 of the Weapon movie. Can you guys hear me and see me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Because okay. I watched both of them and I really liked them, but I don't think they need a 5th one. Because well, they're too old for that shit already. Isn't it Richard Donner like 90 years old? 86, something like that. And I don't know if people care. You know, it will be like Coming to America too. Like, how does that happen? Like, I mean, not how does happen, but how does it does? Like, how's the reception? So people can, like, you know, if that works, maybe they go over. Like, they can pause it. They've been talking about that, doing a fifth part for I don't know how
they've been
many
talking
years
about
since
Lethal
it came
Weapon
out,
5
which was what?
since '98. They've been talking. It just never came to be. Like the thing about that series was, which is funny because it's Richard Donner. Kind of Lethal Weapon became what he originally wanted Superman to be. Which he originally, when he took over Superman, the intention was he would do the first 2 movies, and then it would just be like this ongoing series that they would just pick up every couple of years and do a new Superman. Obviously, the debacle with the Skull Kinds in him, the falling out, he didn't get to do that. But then with Lethal Weapon, he kind of got that. Like they did, what was it? The first one's 87, then 89, then 92, and then 98. And then I'm not exactly sure if it was Warner Brothers or what that just kind of like ended that idea, because there were talks of a Lethal Weapon 5 for a while. Like, what was it? The script for the Simon Says script that became Die Hard with a Vengeance at one point was going to be a Lethal Weapon movie. Like, there's just been so many ideas tossed around, and then it just kind of fizzled away. But
I'm just waiting for
they just did a series like they did a series a couple of years ago. I don't know if it's still on or so, but like they've been trying to explode that franchise for 20 more years. So they're coming back. I guess it's their chance to revive it. Maybe they reboot it.
Well, I was telling Malcolm this because I didn't watch the Lethal Weapon TV show because I saw that trailer and it looked like someone literally took the plot of Lethal Weapon and just tried to stretch it into a TV show, and I just didn't want to waste my time. So it feels like maybe because of that, Richard Donner was like, I gotta take it back. The legacy of Lethal Weapon can't end on that shit. It needs to be a movie.
But yeah, Richard Donner is in fact 90 years old, exactly. So Abe's correct there. But one thing I actually didn't know is, what is his real name?
Richard Donner?
No, it's actually Richard Donald. I have to get that back up. His real last name is Schwartzman? Schwartzberg. It's Richard Donald Schwartzberg.
The more you know.
Also, Richard Donner, I didn't know that, but he hasn't directed in 14 years. That's
Yeah.
that. Well, from today, they're probably gonna start shooting next year, so it's gonna be 50 years since something came out. How does that happen? A lot like the people still have it, but like, well,
Yeah.
I don't
No.
know.
can you
Yeah.
listen?
Yeah, we can hear you.
That
We're
it's
taking in
if I
your
do
words.
something. The thing is that you freeze to me, and I'm like, are they looking at? Why are they looking at me like that? But it's just your frozen image. Your frozen
Oh,
image. So it's
okay.
like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we
like
would have
regular-
said something. I mean, we would have said something if we couldn't hear you. We wouldn't just let you keep talking with it.
Yeah, we would just be like, yeah, keep going.
um, but the other thing I'm going to sort of touch on.
You don't want to hear my pitch, Malcolm? Because I wrote a Lethal Weapon 5 pitch, people.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, this is my pitch. Now, this pitch came from the fact that everyone's like, oh, they're too fucking old for this. Like, Murtaugh be retired. Well, here's my pitch and my fucking workaround for that. And Abe left. After Murtaugh's retirement, Riggs has become partners with Sergeant Butters, who is Chris Rock, on what seems like a routine drug bust. Butters is seriously injured. Soon after, it becomes clear this wasn't any old occupational hazard. Someone's clearly targeting Riggs and Butters. So now Roger comes out of retirement to find who tried to kill his son-in-law and who was trying to kill his best friend. That's how you get Murtaugh back. And the occupational hazard line, that is actually a line from Sergeant Butters in Lethal Weapon 4. At the opening of the movie, when they see the dead Chinese guy, and Chris Rock is talking about like people getting shot, he's like, look, gangbangers want to kill each other. You and me get shot, occupational hazard. So I thought I was clever using that line in my pitch. Richard, call me, okay? I can do this, all right? I've written a lot of scripts. They're not all particularly good, but, you know, it takes a couple of egg cracks before you make an omelet, all right?
Yeah. Also, Abe is still here. Just turned off his camera.
Yeah, I saw that. I can read. I'm an adult.
But the other thing that I'm going to bring up is
I told
is
you I don't want pizza. Stop fucking, motherfucker. I don't care what you say. Oh, sorry.
but the other thing I'm going to talk about is we haven't done this in a while because there really hasn't been a decent box office to talk about, but it's slowly starting getting revitalized because last weekend Wonder Woman 84 came out. We're not going to talk about that in detail because people here haven't seen it yet. But it hit number one on the box office. It got $16 million domestically. Then we've got in second place is News of the World, which got $2 million. Cruise New Age came in third with 1.7 million. Monster Hunter came in just under that with 1.125 million. And then Promising Young Woman rounded out the top five with $680,000. But
Was Die Hard not playing anymore? Is that why?
it, no.
Didn't Die Hard make like the fucking box office because there was just like nothing out and people went to go and see Die Hard?
I mean, like this year has been a year of old movies hitting the box office again.
Don't
Because
fucking remind me. I am so pissed off that my theater was closed when they did all the Rocky movies. They fucking released them. I would have went to the theater. I'm not going to the theaters now, but I would have went for Rocky. And if I got COVID and died, they would have at my funeral. They were like, look, Matt went out watching a Rocky movie. That's kind of how we expect him to go.
yeah, Rocky Horror Picture Show is great.
I mean,
Oh, you get the
honestly,
fuck
if
out
you
of
told me
here.
that, I wouldn't agree with you.
I'm sorry? You
We
were
would've-
breaking up a little bit.
told me that, like, Matt died.
Oh
Like,
yeah, if you
roughly
heard, if like my
100%.
mom went on my Facebook page after I died and was just like, to all Matt's friends, I want you to know he died watching Rocky in the movie theater. He'd just be like, yeah, no, that tracks. Makes sense.
But
It's on my epitaph.
but
Died watching Rocky.
but Matt, what are your thoughts about Wonder Woman 84 doing really well at the box office?
Look at its fucking competition. It's not shocking at all. I mean, it clearly didn't make the money that it probably would have, because I'm sure there's a good section of people who are watching on HBO Max, but it's not shocking. Like, its competition was like what, Krug's, and then like Monster something
Monster
no
High.
one's gonna remember in 2 months, and another thing no one's gonna remember in 2 months. Like, it makes sense. I'm not shocked.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, I think worldwide it did. It's at least at about 100, almost 100 million now. Box Office Mojo's down, so I can't actually see what its worldwide numbers are at the moment. But 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 yeah, I mean, I'm also. I mean, I'm actually surprised it did as well as it did in the States, with this, because of the fact HBO Max has it as well.
Yeah, but Malcolm, see, you don't come from my country. Your country, like, takes COVID seriously. I live in a country where you definitely got, like, a bunch of people in the middle of our country who are just like, I'm going to see the fucking Wonder Woman movie in the fucking theater, all right, you bastards. I ain't going to pay for no goddamn subscription service to see Gal Gadot's titties on the big screen. I'm going to sneak in a Red Bull, too.
I mean, that wasn't the point I was actually making, but
Well,
because
that's the point I'm making.
I mean, we don't have HBO Max anywhere. HBO Max is only in America. So what I was getting at is I was surprised it did as well as it did in America, despite the fact it's on HBO Max.
That's what I was referring to as well, because we don't have the international numbers to know how well it did. I was referring to the fact that Cletus and Karen, they're going to a movie theater. They don't. My movie theater shut down. I'll break in there and watch their Wonder Woman movie. I don't care. Phil, get your damn pickup. Let's go see the movies.
But yeah, I mean, it's
to all of our Midwest viewers. We apologize.
because I mean, to put it in comparison, like when Tenant opened up back in the dark days, that only made 9 million when it came out. So
True,
I mean,
but this is the thing. If you look at the scale of things, back in July, for the most part, people still kind of gave a shit about COVID. Well, also the thing is in July, I think a lot more theaters were closed. Mine didn't open up until October, so I think that also could be affecting it as well. There were a lot of theaters, at least in the States, that weren't even open, so you didn't even have the option to go and see it in theaters. Like, I didn't, even if I wanted to see Tenet, I had no option to go and see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, what are your thoughts on Wonder Woman doing well at the box office?
I mean, is it really surprising? Well, because that should probably cost 200 million. It's probably need to get like what, 5, 7, like 600 million in profit for them to make, and also for the actors and everything. So they need to make some cash out of that HBO Max subscriptions. Worldwide, I don't know if you said that number. Sorry, it's made 85 billion. Like on the I watched it 2 weekends ago, and it's only made 85 million, which I guess is alright. But like, I believe like in France and in parts of Europe, theaters are closed, so that may be a factor, and they may be going for the long run in this case. So makes sense. The other movies, honestly, I don't have no idea what they're doing. So I guess we'll have to until someone gives a shit about COVID in this country.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's one of those ones that it's really interesting looking at the what the worldwide box office movies ended up being at the end of the year. Because in domestically, the number one movie of the year was Bad Boys for Life.
Great movie.
World It is, but worldwide, in the top 10, we've got the 800, which is a Chinese movie, which I think made a lot of its money in China. Bad Boys for
Yeah,
Life was two.
correct.
My People, My Homeland, which hasn't been opened domestically at all, and Tenant, scraped in for Demon Slayer the movie, Sonic the Hedgehog, Doolittle, Legend of Deification, Birds of Prey, and The Sacrifice were all in the top 10. So it's a really interesting looking worldwide box office for a change, because there's about a lot of those movies were primarily like Chinese and Japanese movies, and then some lucky movies from early in the year, and then somehow Tenant, which did well.
I think to a point, like seeing the foreign numbers from 10 around now, I think
But yeah, it's just me at the moment.
Did Abe leave?
No, Abe turned off his camera. And
Okay, I just come back and there's no Abe, and I'm just like, oh, poor Malcolm. He's just got filibuster.
the thing is that my sister needed money.
You know, Malcolm, maybe if we don't get a shitload of people coming, at some point I can just do one of my favorite segments, which is I watch things and describe them. I really want to watch MacGyver, so I can just describe the MacGyver episode. I'm sorry?
Okay, guys, I'm going to leave you with this thought because I need to finish what I'm doing. Looking at the tenant numbers, like it made 360 million. It makes so much sense what Warner Bros. Was willing to do that. Like they say, if we release things outside, theaters are more open in December. Like even though the cases are worse, probably we can go to the 600 million. Especially with Wonder Woman, which was much popular before, and everybody was excited about the movie. Their opinions are different, but just want to say this something. Fuck Mitch McConnell.
Yes, fuck him. Fucking bastard.
But yeah, it's definitely one of those ones.
We just got flagged for that, I bet, Abe.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones that I always believe that Warner Bros. Decided like to take the risk on releasing Tenant, part just because like they wanted a big-ish movie that wasn't, but not one that.
Well, Tenet was, you had Chris Nolan, who was like, movies really just belong in movie theaters, and they're like, fine, Chris, fuck it, we'll do it. We'll release it in theaters, all right? I think that, and I think also like, I think there was that sort of notion that at some point there was going to be a movie that was going to be released directly to HBO Max. And what's the better movie to get people to come to your service? This movie from a very popular director, but an original film that had really weird marketing, or the sequel to a very popular franchise movie. It makes sense that they were like, fine, we'll test the waters of theaters with Tenet, and then we'll keep Wonder Woman for possibly being an HBO Max movie, which is exactly what they did, because you're guaranteeing a bunch of people are signing up for HBO Max if they're not going to the theater. Whereas with Tenet, like, you're not guaranteeing because you have a bunch of people who are like, oh, fuck it, I'll just wait until it's free on. It's a lot like Mulan. Like with me, I was like, I'm not fucking paying $30 for that show. Just wait until it's free on Disney Plus. I still haven't fucking watched it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones because, like, if it was $30 in the States because of currency conversion and all that, it would have been, if I was to buy it, it would have been almost $50 for me. In New Zealand dollars. And the only way I would have ever paid that would be if the reviews that came out were stellar. It's like, this is a must watch. You have to go see this. It's really good.
This is the greatest movie I've ever seen.
But yeah, it's it is what it is. And
it's the two of us, Malcolm.
it is
all right, Malcolm. No, it's okay, Malcolm. Look, I'm taking oath. We'll take an oath of blood brothers. Oh God! Oh, shut up! Oh, all right, cut yourself too, Malcolm. Come on, we'll shake hands over the computer screen. Just fucking do it. Cut your fucking self. I actually fucking cut myself for a joke, so. No, not really. I can if you want to. Hey guys, if you pledge $50 or more in the super chats that we can't get, I'll carve a message into my hand. Got a special birthday coming up, special occasion, want it on my palm. StreamYards, Streamlabs, Take Tree Productions.
But
you might be pledging to someone else. Is it? Can I fucking look? I'm gonna look that up right now. I'm just gonna go stream. It's Streamlabs, right? Yeah, it's streamlabs.com/take reproductions. Let's see if there's anything come up. Oh no! Oh shit! There's nothing there. Our domain can still be used.
But anyway,
What, you got a problem with money?
No, I don't. But I do have a fun thing that I decided on the fly that we'll still do.
We're gonna do the Blood Brothers oath?
No, I've brought up a tier list.
Dear God.
This one is about MCU characters.
Oh Jesus, Malcolm! Why would you, of all things, choose that? There's going to be like 85% of these people that I don't know.
Because I chose it because why not?
Do the same rules apply for S tier? Only 5.
But we'll see what happens. I'll say yes for now. But the first character, I believe that is Abomination.
I can't see because the Happy New Year's is blocking it. Yes, that's Abomination. That is F tier. He's just like, he's fine in the movie, but he's just like, he's, which if you read Incredible Hulk comics, of which Abomination is in, I think, he's just one of those like Hulk villains to where it's like, I mean, who can really fight Hulk except for another big fucking muscly dude? And I know that's like in the plot of that movie, that is where Abomination comes from. But I think because we haven't revisited that film at all, maybe if he had popped up in like another movie, but as of now, yeah, Abomination's just maybe E, but I think he's F.
Yeah, I would have said F2, and it's not that I don't like him. He's only been in the one movie to hit like
He's
he
only
is
been in the one movie.
I mean, maybe things had changed because he is coming back in She-Hulk. That was confirmed a while at the investors meeting, but
Oh.
but for now, he but next up we have the Ancient One.
Oh.
And this is, and for me, I'm probably gonna go F tier, just above Abomination. Once again, she's only had limited screen time at the stage.
I love Tilda Swinton, but the character is so just like one note. Like she's kind of just like she's there to just like prop up Doctor Strange. Like even in Avengers Endgame, like that moment between her and Hulk, like she's there for exhibition about like returning the stones to the timeline, and then she's just like, oh, Doctor Strange, blah, 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 blah. It's just like, yeah, she's just not interesting.
But next up we've got Ant-Man.
I say he's A. I think he's a great character in the MCU. I think his solo films are great, and I think he integrates extremely well into the Avenger films he's been in and Civil War.
Yeah, I was leading to A as well. I think he's just one of those characters that I've always enjoyed watching, and
I think the MCU would have to work really hard to fuck up Scott Lang. Like he's just like a really likable dude. I mean, he still has one of the most real cuts in any MCU movie will be when he's driving back and he's just like, look, I got a master's degree in electrical engineering. I figure I'll be fine. Cut. Hi, welcome to Baskin Robbins. All right, let's just skip Baby Groot because I'm going to assume this is like the Star Wars one to where there's like Groot, teenage Groot, and then adult Groot. Yeah, look at that. I already see adult Groot. Unless you want to separate them into different characters. But I just feel like this is like baby Boba Fett. Like, oh my god, there's so fucking many.
Well,
wait, hold up. Time out. Go back down there. Go back down. All right, well, Stallone's S tier already. We already got fucking S tier. Him and Kurt Russell. I saw you go up there. We got 2 of our S tiers already.
Yeah, I mean, for now, I might just we'll put them in here and then change it out. But yeah, I mean, Baby Groot is one that I enjoy as a character. And I actually enjoy him better than adult Groot personally. I'll probably put him B tier.
Ooh, I mean, if we're combining all Groots, then yeah. I mean, Baby Groot's cute. I think it is funny how in the first movie he's the tough one. He's the protector of all of them, and then it gets flipped in Guardians 2 to where they have to be watching him. It's funny looking at Baby Yoda and seeing how like Baby Groot was kind of the precursor to him. But I won't argue if you want to be.
But next up, we have the Hulk.
Oh, that's okay.
At least I'm thinking it looks like Mark Ruffalo, but
yeah. Why the fuck would they choose that picture of him?
Who knows?
Let's choose the one where half his face is blacked out and you can't really make it out. Yeah,
it's his audition picture to play Two-Face in a movie.
All right.
Which I'm not gonna lie, if they even cast Mark Ruffalo Two-Face, I wouldn't be objecting to it. But for the Hulk, it's going to hurt me doing this, but I'll probably put him in C tier. Like, I enjoy him fine in the movies, but he's always that one that's used sparingly, and it just doesn't get a lot of good moments. But whereabouts would you sort of have?
Oh no, I put him at B. I think particularly for Endgame, I think what they've done with Professor Hulk. I mean, I've always liked Mark Ruffalo's interpretation since Avengers, and I think particularly with now where they're kind of setting him up for what he's gonna be, I think the thing that sucks is that it seems pretty clear that the MCU has kind of given up on his solo stuff, and they've just because he was so good being a part of Avengers, and because that movie really, when you look at those first few movies, Incredible Hulk was the weakest out of like Iron Man and Cap and Thor. That I don't know. It just kind of sucks because Ruffalo's great, but like it just seems pretty clear that there's no plans. Like he's just gonna be like the consistent character throughout the Avengers movies.
I mean, I don't think it's because they've given up on the solo stuff. I think it's a case of because of the deal with Universal and stuff. I think they there's some red tape there.
Oh, is that it? Oh, I didn't even know Universal still had their. Okay, well then that makes 100% sense.
Yeah, as far as I know, Universal still have distribution deal on the whole, which is why they set up the arc.
Well, that was the shit with Captain America for a bit because he was Paramount. It was like Paramount, and that's the thing with those early movies is the MCU. Marvel wasn't a brand really yet, so a bunch of these other studios had their fingers in. So yeah, but yeah, no, that's probably why.
Yeah, I mean, I think Universal's playing really hard for the distribution, which is why they did the arc within the Avengers movies for the whole.
They haven't given up fully on the universe. Again, you get Ross is now the Secretary of Defense, so like they haven't Liv Tyler's still nowhere in there, which is weird that there hasn't been any Betty Ross stuff. Yeah, that to me, like the fact that in like Avengers and even in like up to Endgame, Natalie Portman still is getting references for Thor. It's weird that like Betty Ross has not gotten shit in the Avengers movies.
Yeah,
that's odd to me, but I mean,
I think it's a case they can use their characters in the Incredible Hulk. I think it's the case that they can't do any solo movies based on them. And I think it's the case
it may not be that they can't. It may just be like a thing to where it's like if they want to, they're gonna have to strike a deal with Universal, and Disney is very not with teaming up with people a lot. I mean, just look at Spider-Man and Sony. Like, I think if Spider-Man wasn't as big of a character just outside the MCU as he is, I don't think we'd be getting solo Spider-Man movies right now. But because he's such a big character, they're willing to work with Sony to do those movies.
Yeah,
and Hulk's not that.
And I still believe that this next Spider-Man movie is going to be the last.
Oh, me too.
At the MCU.
I think, and then I think Spider-Man's just going to be popping up in Avengers movies. I don't think. I agree. I think there's the trilogy, and then, or maybe they kill off Tom Holland.
Hey, don't put that juju out there. Tom Holland's the best Spider-Man.
You get walk out with that juju.
Hey,
he's such a good Spider-Man. Why are they bringing back literally every other Spider-Man in existence for the next movie?
Because they want to do a live-action Spider-Verse.
Yeah, because they want to because Spider-Verse made a shitload of money and won an Oscar, and so Disney was like, do that! Do it!
But
MCU was like, do it!
I mean, I think it's a case of and it's part of that. It's because of that reason is why I think this is going to be the last one in the MCU, and we won't see Spider-Man at all. Because this is what I actually think that with these ones, I think this will be the last time we will see Tom Holland because this is the last one on his contract unless they extend it, because he was only contracted
What?
for 6 movies.
No.
But
Stop. No, come back.
but I think, and I think they want to do something big for a big send off for Tom Holland or something. I don't know. But anyway, next up is not going to be Spider-Man. We're talking about Black Panther.
Mm.
And this is going to be tough because I like the character, but I'm probably going to go low B. We're about to.
Probably not. I think he's a really good character. I think he had a really strong introduction in Civil War, and it's fine to me. I think Black Panther to me is a solid mid-tier Marvel movie, and he's good in Infinity War and Endgame. Although he's much better in Infinity War because he just has more to play with, but it's just one of those things. It's like Hulk, like, I mean, and sadly, given circumstances, I don't know what the future of that character is going to be, but he still is. Yeah, I think he's. It's hard to put him over Hulk, though. That's my thing. Yeah, I guess where he is fine. But we're two white guys.
Actually,
so
I probably would. I probably would put him above the Hulk. But it's definitely one of those ones, like, we can talk about that sort of stuff. We get to the end anyway. But
I love how I'm just like, it'd be hard to put Hulk, and I was like, you know what? Fuck Matt. It's not about Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones, like,
No,
I think
yourself.
I think Black Panther's probably done a little bit bigger impact in the MCU than the Hulk did. But yeah. Next up, we've got the Winter Soldier.
I put him in A, honestly. I think Bucky's been a great character. I thought he was great in First Avenger. He was fantastic playing the villain in Winter Soldier, and then in Civil War he was fantastic. And I can't wait for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think he's just a fascinating character because I love how, like, he's Captain America's friend, and then in Winter Soldier he is the villain throughout the majority of the thing, but then he saves Steve's life at the very end of the movie. And then in Civil War you get that great thing to where he's kind of just trying to exist, but because of the whole Sokovia thing and what's his face, Zemo pretending to be him, he gets pulled into his world that he was trying to get away from, and I think Sebastian Stan just plays it really well. So yeah, I think he's definitely below Ant-Man for me, but that could change given Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I was tossing out between low A, high B myself, so I'm happy. Not happy. I'm happy with where he is. So.
I'm not happy with where he is, but
but next up we've got Captain America.
Captain America. He's
once again they chose the same black and white image as the Hulk.
What is this? Yeah, I say he's S tier. I mean, he is, his first movie, he was extremely strong. He has, in my opinion, the best trilogy out of any of the characters who have a trilogy. Really good character.
But yeah, I too would have said S tier. And I know if Christina was here, she'd be yelling at us. If we even try putting him anywhere lower.
Wait, who?
Christina, Anthony's wife. You may not have been on the stream with her, but
you're saying this name. That's why I asked. I apologize, Christina, if you're watching. That's just my own stupidity. I've been on streams before. Malcolm's saying that. At first, I thought you said Kristen. That's why I asked, because I was like, is Kristen a big Captain America fan? Have I missed those conversations? That was more my question.
But next up we've
Was
got
it 'cause he takes his shirt off and he's all sexy? Did you like him when he was a little skinny boy? Did he have to get the abs?
But next up we've got Captain Marvel,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
which I'm gonna have. I probably would put it in E like
She's
like
plank
sh-
of
sh-
wood.
sh-
She's so boring. I'm sorry. She's just not interesting. I think and this I don't blame Brie Larson for this because I think Brie Larson is being asked to do what she is being asked to do. I just think particularly she was fine in Endgame, but in that solo movie, man, that movie I just didn't or like I was bored throughout that movie. She wasn't interesting whatsoever, and I think like they're making her way too OP. Like she's kind of just like the unlimited answer to all the issues that it's almost like they had to literally write a line in Endgame, which was a very good line, I'll be honest, that like she's out because there are other planets that don't have the Avengers, but like because she's so I don't know, man. I just don't like that character. I'm sorry.
I mean, Captain Marvel has always been one of those characters that has been.
No, I know in the
really
comics.
big.
Look, I'll be honest here. I'll play the I'm more of a DC Comics reader, and the Marvel comics I did read were mostly Spider-Man, Daredevil. Got a little bit into Avengers and Incredible Hulk and everything. So, like, I'll be honest, Captain Marvel was not really someone, unless we're talking about Shazam. It's not really someone I know too well, so maybe that's it. I'm just the movie depictions I've gotten of her so far have not really made me want to see more of her. I mean, Bette Mendelssohn was a more interesting character in her own movie.
Yeah, I mean, this is where I would have disagreed with you heavily, but I mean, I put it in a for me because I really did enjoy her in Captain Marvel and her appearances, but for me, it is one of those ones like in the MCU, she hasn't really done a lot of impact to it. Like she, which is why I do have to put her really low. I mean, just because she hasn't made that sort of splash that everyone else has, where they've been in more than 2 or 3 movies. Like, and they used her sparingly in Infinity War and Endgame, but and that's kind of what I expected.
In Infinity War.
That's how they used her sparingly. She wasn't in it.
Because it ends with him calling her because you get the mother, and then you see her little thing. But
they still use
that movie just fucking broke so much continuity because in Avengers there is this scene when Captain America has found all the guns and like all this technology that Shield has, and Captain America goes and confronts Director Fury, and he's like, "What is this? You know, why are you doing this?" He's like, "Because of him." And he points to Thor, and he's like, "When the Destroyer came, we realized that we are not alone in this universe. Not only that, we are outgunned." But then somehow in the fucking 90s, you met an alien and got a fucking like pager for her. But now all of a sudden, you know but it took in 2011 for you to realize that there were people out there and that you're outgunned. Also, Shield wasn't called Shield. In Iron Man, they keep referring to it as the strategic homeland, what the fuck ever. And then at the end of the movie, when Pepper goes to say it, Coulson is just like, it just Shield. Shield is fine. So fuck you for breaking continuity, guys. You can't just watch your own fucking movies before you write this new shit. When you write a prequel, you need to know what you do in the future, what you've already set in stone before you write stupid bullshit in the past.
But I mean, I still disagree with you on all that because. But anyway,
He says it. If another character said it, fine, but fucking Nick Fury's the one who says it, and Nick Fury's the one who's dealing with her for the entire movie.
Yeah, but I mean, with the shield, like thing, even though and they do call it the Strategic Homeland Intervention Expedition stuff, whatever. But it's one of those ones like they could. The thing I kind of imagine is that they always call it Shield for short, in the department because, just
Malcolm.
because it's easy for them and.
But in Iron Man, Coulson continually keeps saying to Pepper and to Tony that he worked for the Strategic Homeland. It's not until the end of the movie that he goes, just call it S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, but
why would he? He's in multiple scenes where he's saying it, Malcolm. Just don't, Malcolm. Let's just not start this because that's your own headcanon. Let's just be honest. This was the writers of Captain Marvel fucked up. And that is that.
I still heavily disagree, but let's continue.
There's no disagreeing. There are just fucking facts. It's like if Anakin Skywalker didn't create a blue lightsaber. How the fuck would Luke have a blue lightsaber in A New Hope if in Revenge of the Sith he had a green one? Wouldn't really track, would it?
But anyway.
Yeah. Well, see, Matt has used logic. It's super effective.
No, I just.
Yes.
I'm just continuing on. But next up, we've got the collector.
F?
Yeah.
He's fine, but
and actually, I'll probably put him in between the others. I mean, he's once again only appeared very sparingly. It's like
he's just weird.
Yeah. But the next one is sadly going to be an F as much as I like the character. Depends on if you want to incorporate Agent Shield into this as well. But we've got the aforementioned Coulson.
Coulson is get out. Coulson is C, man. Coulson is great in all his stuff he's in, even without Agent Shield, which I only saw the first 3 episodes of. Dude, Coulson's death is literally the thing that drives the Avengers to become a team in Avengers. Without him and his death, the Avengers don't get together.
But without Captain Marvel, they wouldn't know the name of the Avengers.
Yeah, well, fuck off, Malcolm. Fucking,
but yeah, I mean, I think just because we've I'm happy with Coulson and D because we'll leave him there because he is great in all of his appearances and that but I just can't honestly put him in, any higher, to be honest. But we'll fit in the middle because I was going to go E, Matt went C, so D is a perfect middle ground. Next up, we've got Crossbones.
I put him at D. I like him a lot in Winter Soldier. And then obviously he's only in the very beginning of Civil War and won't be making a comeback anytime yet. But Frank Grillo plays him, whom is just awesome in general. So, yeah.
Next up,
what the fuck is this? Oh, is that Gormandu? I think that's Gormandu from
that is
Dormammu. I've come to I've come to bargain.
It is Dormammu.
Dormammu. I've come to bargain. Yeah, put him in F. That's a really great moment, but he's just
that's the only time we ever see.
Yeah, it's the only time we ever see him. Again, it's a great moment in that movie. Gormandu. You just see the different ways he kills Doctor Strange, and then just Gormandu. I've come to bargain. Just it's fucking great.
But next up we've got Drax the Comedic Destroyer.
I put him in Where would I put him? Where would you put him?
I'll probably put him in C. I can't honestly put him. I can't honestly put him high. Like me personally, I can't put him any higher than that. But whereabouts would you put him?
Oh, this is tough. Just because I would say low B, high C, just because you get a lot with him particularly in his appearances in the Guardians movies, to where like his relationship to his family and how, also he's an extremely funny character as well. They take everything literally. It'll just go over his head. Nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't listening.
But next up, we've got Ego.
S tier. S tier. It's probably the best villain in the MCU.
No.
Yes.
Like me personally, I would put him in E. Just
put him in C. All right, fine then. I guess he's going in D. We're doing another Coulson thing. So I would put him in C. Malcolm, this is what's fair.
Fine. But next,
look, people watching. I love how when Malcolm, like when it's Malcolm's decision, he's all for doing these like middle ground things. But when it's a character he doesn't really particularly like because he's not from a TV show Malcolm likes, then he's all of a sudden this whole middle ground thing goes away. All right, Malcolm. Okay.
Hey,
give an explanation. No, is not just because it's Kurt Russell. I think Ego is one of the way more interesting villains in the MCU. I think the fact that he literally has a big ego, like this whole thing, like when you get to that thing with him and Peter, and the fact that he gave Peter's mom cancer because he knew eventually he could not leave her anymore, and he was just going to stay on Earth, and he would have lost his powers, and he didn't want that. So he killed his mom because he didn't want to give up being all that he was. He's just it's just one of those things where it's just like the way Kurt Russell plays it. Like you believe it in his work perspective why that's smart. But obviously because we're on Star-Lord's side, we're like, you're a fucking psycho. No, you don't do that. Excuse me. That is Bilbo Baggins.
It is. It's Everett Ross, I believe is his name.
That is not Everett Ross. That's
well, the character's last name is Ross. I know that much.
Okay, I'm looking up Martin Friedman MCU character. Everett K. Ross. Okay, Everett K. Ross. I think he's E. Like he's good. I like him in Civil War and Black Panther. I hope there's more with his character.
I mean, I think he's appearing in the TV shows, Falcon and Winter Soldier specifically, but I mean, but he's a good spot for the character.
What? I didn't hear that.
I said he's a good spot for the character.
He's again. I think this is also more of the act, which again happens a lot in the MCU, where it's like the character's fine, but the actor, like I love the bit in Civil War when he's talking to Zemo, and he's just like, if you give me a reason, please give me a reason.
But next up we've got War Machine.
Ooh.
But yeah, this is.
I think C is fine. I really like him.
Well, actually, no. I think that's that's Falcon.
Oh, that's Falcon. Oh, well then.
I mean, I like Falcon.
I do too.
I'm probably leaning towards either where is it C?
Yeah, I see. I think he's really good. I think he is really good at being as of right now, because we haven't gotten Falcon Winter Soldier, he's a really good secondary character. Like, that is what he's supposed to be. Like, again, after Falcon Winter Soldier, that's probably going to change, but for right now, he plays it really well. You know, like which it's not a slight at him. It's the same way that like Alec Guinness in A New Hope is a really good secondary character because he's not the main character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh well, this one up is it's F tier, obviously. No, it's Nick Fury. He's A tier. Come on.
Yeah, no, I would actually put him above.
Yeah, I probably would too. I mean,
Yeah.
you have so many. I mean, you have first all the interesting stuff with him in, like Iron Man 2, and then in the first Avengers movie. Then you get him in Winter Soldier, where he's fantastic. Like, and again, I think this is also Sam Jackson. Like that story when he's talking about his grandpa, where it's just like, my grandpa was an elevator operator. He had this brown bag, and he would, always carry it around. And then one day someone came up and, he showed him what was in the bag, and it was a bunch of crumpled up ones and a like whatever gun it was. And he's like, Grandpa loved people. He just didn't trust them. And then you get, I think that scene when it's him and Tony in the barn in Age of Ultron is fantastic. Yeah, he's great. There is a question now because of fucking Far From Home. Was that him? Like, was that Nick Fury?
Well, I believe that like anything before Endgame was Nick Fury.
No. So was that Nick Fury at Tony's funeral, or was it Ben Mendelssohn?
Well, no, it's one of those. I'm pretty sure.
I'm saying, like, it's a great joke in that movie, but it just, to me, it just like fucked with my mind of just like how long has Ben Mendelssohn been Nick Fury?
Yeah, no, I get that. But yeah, we can get into debates about that. But
I mean, I assume Ben Mendelssohn will be I assume it'd be weird with all these. They have the fucking cat. I would be shocked if Ben Mendelssohn wasn't a character to pick from.
But next up we've got Gamora.
Gamora. Hey, Gamora.
I mean, Gamora is one of those characters like I really do like a lot, and like the emotional moments that she does have with
Quill
in the movies, with Quill, and even with Thanos.
And what's her fucking name? Karen Gillian.
Nebula.
Nebula. So yeah, I put her above. Yeah, I think right there is good. I think she's, and I think particularly with where we leave off with her character in Endgame, it's going to be interesting to see, because now it's like she's a Gamora that doesn't know the group like they know her, which is just going to be interesting. I'm looking at, I'm trying. Oh yeah, there he is. There he is. Oh my god, Taserface? Taserface is one of the.
Well, put some respect on that name.
What?
Everyone's gonna fear the name of Taserface.
Taserface. I could just see you look in the mirror. Taserface. That'd be a real badass name. Taserface.
But anyway, next up we've got.
I love Guardians 2 so much.
But next up we've got the character of Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think this was a really great villain. But this is one that I'm probably going to put.
She just wasn't. Her design was cool. How she moved was cool, but her character wasn't all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was. I don't know. It was something. Again, I thought she was cool. Again, I love Ant-Man and Wasp, but like, she kind of just. I guess it's the argument that some people give of Darth Maul and Phantom Menace, towards like, she looks really cool and she allows for really cool fights, but her character's not all that great.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, this is one that I really do like the character and just the story of the fact that she got the power to phase through, but unwillingly, and it's clear that she didn't want to be the villain, but she was forced into it by the other bad guys. It's just that kind of story that But anyway, next up we've got Goose the Flirting Cat.
I'll let you take this one first, Malcolm.
S tier, definitely.
Oh my god, I hate you so much.
You said take it first. No, in all seriousness,
I'm still here. I'm still talking.
in all seriousness, I like the character, but I'm probably going to put it in the middle of F tier above Abomination. Like, just a fun character, and yeah, any objections, Matt?
Where'd you put the cat?
Um,
Yeah, no
yeah.
objections from me, sir. No objections.
Oh no, that's the Grandmaster. Grandmaster is the next character we have.
Who's Grandmaster again?
Or Jeff Goldblum in Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, ooh. I mean,
Um,
he's high F tier. Like, he's a funny character, but he really doesn't do much for the plot.
they really could have picked a better pitch for him too.
What?
For this they could have picked a better picture for him.
What's
But I mean,
Jeez,
it's literally,
what's with these pictures they're picking? Golly.
but next up we've got Hank Pym from Ant-Man.
B? I think high B.
Yeah, I'm probably going to lean towards high B. I can't put him above Gamora, but I think
No, but
there's probably a good spot. But the next one we have, once I find the thing again. Oh, where are we? There we are. The next one we have is Happy Hogan. Good old John Favreau.
oh, Happy Hogan.
I mean, this is one that, just like Coulson, I'm probably going to do and put in D.
Yeah, I think that's probably best.
I mean, I like the character. He hasn't done a lot of sort of impactful things that would put me in the with a lot of the superheroes like Ant-Man and that, but D's a good place for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Next up, we've got Hawkeye.
This is tough.
Yeah, I mean, I like Hawkeye, but I'm probably going to go low C.
Yeah, like he's definitely having the family and everything made him interesting, but like, you know, he still isn't, you know.
But next up, we've got Heimdall.
Heimdall. Who the fuck is Heimdall? Oh, he's Idris Elba. That's right.
Yeah. Whereabouts would you put him?
I think he's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think I'd keep him here. Actually, high end of D is probably where I think it's a good spot for him. Like he does do a lot to help out, like for and also like if it wasn't for Heimdall, Hulk would never be able to make it to Earth to warn everyone else about Thanos. So, but next up we've got Hela.
I don't love Thor Ragnarok as so many do.
Blasphemy.
She just, she's okay, but I don't know, man. Where would you want to put her? And
I mean, I'm with. I like Hela as a villain. But I'd probably put her there just under the Grandmaster. Just because like I really can't justify putting her above the Grandmaster, but so there's probably a good spot.
yeah.
But next up we've got Howard the Duck. I mean, I'd probably actually put him above Dormammu at this point. But how did that really didn't do much in the MCU at all. Appears in a couple of post-credit scenes for Guardians, but voiced by Seth Green.
He's apparently in the final battle of Endgame.
Oh, he is with a machine gun. But that being said, next up we've got Howard Stark, Tony's dad.
Ooh.
I don't remember which actor is playing him in this picture, but that is definitely Howard Stark. I mean, as much as it's going to pain me, I'm probably going to say F tier as well. Maybe
F? Ooh, no, I'd say he's D. I think he's in you get him in First Avenger, you get him in he's in a little bit of Agent Carter, and then you get the stuff with him. I think that stuff with he's in Ant-Man, he's in Civil War, but it's really the stuff in Iron Man 2 where I think it's really great to where he's you get that moment where Tony's watching all the footage of him, and then it gets to the thing to where he's talking about the element, and he's like, I don't know, there's something cool. Oh, and then of course, obviously the Endgame moment with him and Tony. I think he's a really great character. He's a really interesting character.
But yeah, I think like once again, so I'm going for the middle row. I've put him in E because why not?
Yeah, I guess why not.
Next up, we've got one that I don't think anyone's going to see any argument to put him any higher than F. Is Tony Stark.
Yeah, not that great. Yeah.
Next up, we've got Janet from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Janet Van Dyke. I think she is high F. We just don't really know anything about her.
Yeah. I'll probably put her here under Hela. The hell is that Justin Hammer? Yeah, it is Sam Rockwell.
Matt Nost.
Yes, it is Matt Nost. But whereabouts would you put Justin Hammer?
F. Like he's great in Iron Man 2 as like the flip side of Tony Stark, but that's kind of all he is. Like he's a one and done guy. I think he's funny, but he's just that. He serves a purpose for.
But next up, we've got Calicius, the villain from Doctor Strange. And this is one that I'm gonna go F as again because the cat. He's one of those villains that's not really interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah. Who the- I think that is Killian from Iron Man 3. That looks like it's the extremist effects.
Yeah. It's Guy Hamilton.
But unless you've got any really objections to put him higher, but I'm probably going to put him in F as well.
Yeah, I have absolutely no.
Next up, we've got Killmonger from Black Panther. Whereabouts would you put Killmonger?
This is just getting hard.
That's what she said.
Shut up, Malcolm. I don't know. Where would you put him?
I mean, I'd probably put him low C. He's a great villain, and Michael B. Jordan is just a great actor. Who does some boxing, I presume, in some other movies.
I think so. I've heard about that.
But we don't know a lot. I mean, he's great. I just can't put him any higher than Hawkeye. So I just can't put him any lower than Heimdall. So I think low C is probably a good place for him.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we've got Thor.
Nah, that's Saf. He's really just not that interesting at all.
You just hate New Zealand.
That's yep.
Not that I'm saying Ed Serkis is Kiwi at all. I mean, he's one of those ones. I actually like a lot, but I would put him low E myself because he's one that I do like better than Grandmaster, but I can't put him any higher than some of the other people that we've got on there already.
Yeah.
Next up we've got who? I don't remember his real name.
I don't know his name.
But I do like him better than Howard the Duck. But
I will agree with that.
Next up we've got Korg.
Oh, that's Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
I'll let you start with that one.
I would put him in low C. He's a really great character, and
he's funny. He's a good side character. That's he serves his purpose as a side character very well.
I mean, whereabouts would you have gone?
Probably around the same. He's a good side character, but that's it.
Who the hell? That's Kraglin.
Oh, yeah. That one's tough.
I mean, I like the character enough, but I'd probably go high D above Captain Marvel.
Yeah. I'll agree. He's good. Like I want to say higher, but yeah, I guess I think that is probably.
I mean, some of these characters that only appeared sort of once in the MCU is really hard to sort of justify putting higher than some of the characters that have been in multiple movies. Next up we've got Loki. S easily.
I've never loved him like so many other people do, but if you want to put him in S, that's fine.
I mean, whereabouts would you have put him?
I would have put him in A. because I don't. And even then,
I mean,
he's
there's a good chance he might fall down there, so I'll leave him in the upper nest for now. Because I'm sticking to the keeping S to 5. Next up we've got Luis from Ant-Man.
oh man, that's tough. C? I think he's a good C contender.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just like Korg. It's like I'm probably going to put him slightly below Korg because he's a good character, but yeah, I'm happy with him in C. Who the hell is that?
That is who the fuck is that? Let's just skip him since we have a fucking clue who he is.
But next up we've got Mantis.
Oh. E? Like, she's nice and all, but she's not really that interesting.
Yeah, I'm happy with her in E. I'll probably put
Below Howard, for sure.
yeah.
No, I said below. Howard should be higher than Mantis.
But
Oh, Aunt Robin. Oh, Jesus.
Marahul, I do like the character. I'd probably go sort of low D on this. So
Yeah, she's just not really been used a lot.
I mean, but she's one of those ones which I don't think needs to have a big role really.
She's a consistently good, like, third string character.
But next up we've got M'Baku.
God, see, this is who's M'Baku. Remind me of these things.
The ape from he's from Black Panther anyway.
Why the fuck do I know? Oh, he's okay. He's the other tribe dude. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. He's nice and all, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably put him middle of E. Like
that's fine.
There's not a lot of him at the moment for me to put him higher, but like he's got the potential to come up again.
That is Samurai Man from Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, maybe Murdo. I'll leave him. I think that's Baron Murdo. I'm not too sure if it is though.
I don't know either, bro.
Next up,
Sherry or Shuri? Is it Shuri? Sherry?
No, because that is Shuri.
Oh, that's Lupita Nyong'o then. You know what it was? I don't know why the fuck did I think that. I don't know because I'm stupid.
Nakia, I think, but I like the character, but I'll put her there.
Well, she's had one movie. She,
Yeah,
she was good in it, but
it's yeah. So,
ooh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh my
yeah.
God. How come you're the guest? That placement.
But next up we've got Shuri.
She is B to me. B, or she's your low B or high C.
She's not a pirate. She can't be in the high seas.
Oh my God, I hate you so fuck you.
But I'd have to put her B anyway. And I'm actually inclined to put her there, just above Hank Pym. Because I think the character is great and everything she's done, sort of, especially with Infinity War. Next up we've got Nebula.
I think she is B as well. I think she's just really consistently. She's just gotten more and more interesting as a character, and I think her future is really, really bright.
Yeah.
And Karen Gillian. I mean, it's Amy Pond. It's a Marvel character. Come on, guys. The bow tie. What? Bow ties are cool.
It means Ruby Roundhouse is a Marvel character. I have
What?
no idea who Amy Pond is.
That's Doctor Who.
Who?
Fuck off, please.
But anyway, we've got Ned from the Spider-Man movies. I mean, this is one that I like the character Ned. I think he's great. I just can't put him in any higher than low D. Do you have any objections, Matt?
Whatever. He's just there. I don't watch those movies, so I really just don't care. Once we get to Spider-Man, it's gonna be fucking interesting, but sure.
Next up, we've got Odin.
Odin.
Odin is one of those. I like. Odin's a great character, but he's one that I would put.
Well, he's definitely above Ned. We'll say that. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Oh, I'm kind of inclined to go above Ego, actually.
Okay. I'm not really there's so many left. I'm really just not gonna pick hairs about their placements within the tier.
But next up we've got Okoye.
Oh my god. How many more are there legitimately? Can we just see? Oh my, what the fuck?
It's been a lot of moves in the MCU, so that means a lot of characters.
We'll be doing this until next year.
Well, until I have to go to work anyway, which I'm.
When is that?
I'm probably going to leave in about 45 minutes. But but I mean, Okoye is going to be. I'm probably going to put Okoye there. I think like what in Infinity was the Infinity War and Endgame was what made me sort of care about that character more so than who appears in Black Panther. Just she got to come out on her own a bit. So yeah. Next up we have I'm just going to skip old Groot. We've got Agent Carter, I believe.
Yes, Peggy Carter. She is high A. She's a great character, and her show was canceled way too quickly. She's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd go as crazy as High A myself. I was actually going to think just above Louise, as much as I do like the character, but it does mean she does fall in B. So,
all right.
next up we've got Pepper Potts. And Pepper Potts is one I'm probably going to put low C. Actually, no.
Not going to fight on that one.
Well, I was actually thinking it might be a bit too high looking at who we had in D.
Yeah, I think D is fine for her. Like she's fine, but you know, look. Out of all those Iron Man movies, I can tell you, I don't know anyone would have walked out going, Pepper's my favorite character.
Next up, I believe that is
that's Robert Redford, the secretary.
From Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm. He's a really good character in that. He's also in Endgame. He's a really good character. I like him.
I mean,
Ned?
Yeah. I can't justify putting him above Mara, but like.
Yeah, no, but that's yeah.
Next up, we've got Quicksilver.
The Age of Ultron version. Not
I mean, that's
the
the only one that will count for this list.
yeah. I put him high F.
Yeah,
I really like Aaron Taylor Johnson, I believe is the actor. I really like him. It's just he's in one movie, and that's it. I'm wondering though
that's
if
who
he's
that
going to pop up
is.
in one movie.
That's I believe it is Malika from For the Dark World.
Oh, okay.
That being said, I like him better than Killian, but I mean, if we were to put a For the Dark World character in S tier, people would buy it.
I'm not fucking doing it.
But next up, we've got Red Skull.
Let's take, honestly, at the end of this, let's take all of our F tiers, put them in, take all our S and F and switch them. And then just piss me the fuck off.
But next up, we've got Red Skull.
I put him in E. I think he's really good. I like him.
Yeah,
Hugo Weaving's real good, and then he pops up in Infinity War and Endgame. I like that he is kind of now cursed to just guard the Soul Stone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. But next up, we've got Rocket Raccoon.
Yes, we do.
Something tells me people are going to hate me. You want to put him.
Why?
I don't know. Where would you put him?
I want to put him. B. I think he's really good. B tier. Why? Why would you think I hate Rocket Raccoon?
Well, your just reaction when I said we've got Rocket Raccoon is like, yes. I was like, and so I got, oh shit, I'm going to get a hot take from that.
I love Rocket Raccoon. I think Brad Pitt is great. I think the character is funny. I think Guardians 2 in particular shows that, like, he wants to not be as much of an asshole as he is, but he just can't help it. And that's just such a really, like, sweet, like, he doesn't want to be a dick, but he kind of just, like, that's how he knows how to operate. So he just can only operate like that.
Did you just say you think Brad Pitt is great? It's Bradley Cooper.
Did I say Bradley?
You see Brad Pitt?
I was thinking, I was watching. You know what? Look, there's a lot of, as many Chris's as there are Brads, and I was watching a bunch of Moneyball stuff earlier today, so I got Brad Pitt on the mind, all right? Whatever. No one's watching us anyway, so no one will believe you.
But next up, we've got Ronan the Accuser.
Put that shit in F. He's just he's got like one really good moment, which is when Peter Quill starts dancing. It's just like, what is this? He's also in Captain Marvel, so there's a couple more points down for him.
I mean, he didn't do anything interesting in Captain Marvel for me to putting him in here.
He was. I'll give this credit to him. He was a very good, intimidating villain in Guardians of the Galaxy, but he's a one and done. Wonder.
I mean, he could still pop up, but we got Scarlet Witch next.
How can he pop up? Well, I guess maybe.
Well, I mean, if they do another thing set in the future, in the past, so I mean,
true. Wanda, I put her in B. I think.
Yeah, I was probably going to lean towards putting her.
I'm interested. I finally saw the trailer for WandaVision, the story trailer. It looks interesting.
Yeah, I'll put it in there just above Nebula, because the emotional stuff she does have for Vision in Endgame is
Really
just
good.
is really good. Yeah,
Yeah. You mean Infinity War? Vision's not in Endgame. Oh, look at that! Now,
next up we've got
yeah,
next up we've got. I don't
Lady.
think that
She's from Thor.
Lady Sif. Look, late
Look, she's a
in her
woman,
brief
so
appearance.
Malcolm hates her. All right, just say it, Malcolm.
No, I was
So-
about to say, like, I think she's great in her brief appearances. Her coming back and for Love and Thunder might push it up, but I'd probably put her just in between Grandmaster and Hela at this stage.
I believe she's played by an actress who was in The Last Stand with with Arnold. With Arnold.
Wait, Arnold Schwarzenegger was in X-Men: The Last Stand.
I'm not gonna take no photo.
But next up, we've got Scourge from Thor Ragnarok, played by Carl Urban. I mean,
I love Carl Urban, but the character was kind of nothing to me.
yeah, it was kind of a nothing character, so I'll probably put him just there. Next up, we've got Spider-Man. This is the best Spider-Man we've ever had. And I would say just under Black Panther in B.
I put him in C. He just does not interest me whatsoever.
Well,
If
just
you want, I will keep him in B, but he cannot be higher than Peggy Carter. I'll give you that. Yeah. Sound like my opinions on him are well known, I feel like, by this point.
next up, we've got Star-Lord.
I put him in low A personally for me. I love Peter Quill. I think he's a great character.
Yeah, no, I mean, I actually don't have a problem from there in low A. Because I was tossing up between mid B, low A anyway. And
He's just an interesting character since Guardians. I think the stuff with him in 4 and Infinity War was great. And then the stuff with the new Gamora was also really good in Endgame.
but next up we've got Doctor Strange.
High B for me. I really like Doctor Strange, but he just doesn't. He hasn't done enough to get into the A yet. But he still is good.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him being in B.
You want to put him in the middle? That's fine.
Yeah, just wanted to.
I think where he is right there is fine. Then, if you want to have him in the middle,
Yeah.
It's all good.
Next up we've got Talos, Ben Mendelsohn from Captain Marvel.
He's above Captain Marvel. That's for certain. He's more interesting in her.
I honestly can't put him above Captain Marvel, but I think I think he is
Has it been proven or not if he's in Homecoming or not? Because wasn't that a thing that like people thought he was a teacher in Homecoming? Has that been disproven or not? No, it's not Homecoming. It's Endgame when they're all coming back.
I mean, I don't think it was confirmed if that was him or not in the end game. But next up, we've got
Taserface is clearly S tier. Taserface, that would be a real badass name. Taserface.
I mean, I think there is fine for Taserface. The group down there.
There's another Groot.
Yeah, there's teenage. There was teenage Groot.
Oh, teenage Groot. I will be right back, Malcolm.
But yeah, it looks like it's just me, so Matt has to accept where I put them. But got Thanos next, and I'm going to throw Thanos all the way up into S tier because that is where I think he belongs. Just can't put him above Iron Man or Steve. Next up, we've got Thor. And Thor is, I don't think I can actually justify putting him all the way into S tier, but I think high A is a good spot for him. I really hope Black Widow's there because actually, yeah, I think put him there because I think I can see him being an S tier, but he may be not down to A. Next up, we've got another Howard Stark.
Oh man, I can't wait to get off of this stream and just crack open a big bottle of chlorine and. Oh hi.
But
what did I miss? Thanos in S tier, fine. That's all right.
For an S tier.
That's also fine.
Oh, and we've got joining us Ryan Payne.
Hey, what's up?
Not much.
Welcome back to another stream where we fight over the rankings of characters.
I'm looking at this list and it looks like I missed a lot.
Yeah,
you did. Is there anyone that you disagree with where we've placed them at?
Okay, I'm just no explanation. I'm just doing quick. Let's see. Okay, I agree with S tier, A tier. Let's see. And what's the basis of the list here? Are you just judging mainly from what we've seen on screen?
From what we've seen on screen.
Yeah, essentially.
Like some of them we are counting their TV show appearances too, which is why Peggy Carter is as high as she is.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, all right. I completely understand that with Peggy Carter. I guess for me, I would probably put Wanda and Doctor Strange almost somewhere between A and B. So right now, from where they're sitting at, is fine. I'm mainly judging everything off of Doctor Strange did great, but then when you see what they did in Infinity War and in Endgame, their power level has raised. But they're good for right now. We'll wait until WandaVision and then the Doctor Strange sequel to see.
Yeah, that's a lot of the characters like where's the Falcon?
Yeah,
we're more just like this could change after Falcon and Winter Soldier.
True.
Like he could be much higher.
Personally, for me, I would put Black Panther in the A tier. Not because of the technology he has, but also mainly from Civil War, you got to see what he was capable of. I mean, because most people, when they love that airport scene, they like to talk about how it was a great fight. But in reality, only two characters were not holding back, and that was Wanda and Black Panther in my mind after constant rewatches. But Black Panther was so single-mindedly focused on Bucky, you didn't know exactly what he was capable of. So
yeah.
I still love him and Black Widow in that movie at the Accords, where they're just like that's something I've always liked about how Chadwick Boseman played him was like he always had that really like regal leaderness, you know, to where it's like the Accords, I believe the Accords, you know,
Exactly. It's one of the reasons. I was gonna say it's one of the reasons why I was not up in arms that Black Panther wasn't solely his movie. We got enough of him. We got at least to see a good idea of what his character was like in Civil War. That his movie was all about why he is the way he is. That's about his country of Wakanda and the people around it. And that's personally for me.
Civil War is my favorite MCU movie, so you're gonna get no arguments from me loving him in Civil War.
All right, let's see. C tier. Yeah, I mean Drax, he is perfectly there because let's be honest, he's been. If I have researched him in comics, he's way more OP than he is in the James Gunn movies, so that's fine. Let's see. All right, yeah, Ego. Yeah, I would put him in D tier as well, even though he's a planet.
I wanted to be S, but Malcolm fought me on it.
Okay. I mean, yeah, he's a planet. I think in character-wise, his motivation would knock him down a peg because someone who is very omnipotent or someone who's celestial like him, his biggest plan is to make the world like him. So it shows
egocentric.
Yeah, egocentric. Yeah, I get it. And I understand. I understand his backstory. He was a small membrane.
I understood that reference.
Okay. Sorry, I'm so big. I mean, I just like a huge freaking like grocery run just to
no,
get,
I meant when I said he's egocentric, you're like,
oh,
yeah. I'm like,
like,
I understood that reference.
okay. I'm gonna need to take some shots to loosen up tonight, but no, it's okay. That was so good. Yeah, I think Ego's okay, but it depends on the other characters that you're gonna do. I might push him up to C. Let's see.
Malcolm, you see, we apologize. Taserface was not in our S tier.
Okay, your E tiers. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on Marvel. On Carol, you know, I want to hold off on her. I do want to see her higher, but yeah, we only got like 15% of what she's able to do, and Brie Larson never got that much screen time, even in her own film.
Yeah, I was talking about the fact that out of her movie, I like Ben Mendelssohn way more in her own movie. He's a more interesting character.
And I have to give that a shot towards the writing. Like I've talked to so many people. Like if Carol was just given in the beginning that she didn't lose her memory, she didn't have amnesia, but she was manipulated to believe that the Skrulls were responsible for killing Marvel and nearly killing her with that.
Blame anything in that movie on Brie Larson. I
put all down the writing.
It's writing faults. Why'd you pull down Ross? Why'd you move him down? That's not Howard Stark. That's Ross.
Yeah, that's Ross.
Anyway, Ryan, where would you put General Ross?
Secretary. He got promoted. Give him some credit.
And if you're looking at him from Incredible Hulk, including his way in Captain America: Civil War and in Infinity War, it's clear he's a stubborn ass character. So I guess if you would put him as like a certain minor foil to the Avengers in general, I would put him somewhere in E, maybe. Yeah, I would put him somewhere like an E tier, somewhere maybe like behind Howard Stark, personally. Like the young Howard Stark. Wait, is that oh my god, M'Baku? Oh shit. I would put M'Baku in D tier. Sorry. Sorry, I thought that was a second Killmonger for a second, or that was that was Ninjaka.
Yeah.
Looking at the way they picture the filter, I thought that was Luke Cage at first. Like it looks like his ripped shirt from like all the promo pictures, which Luke Cage be a lot higher because I love that Netflix series.
Yeah, I mean, some of the pictures at Table, I had a hard job trying to work out.
The freaking Hulk one, we didn't even know it was Hulk at first. When we saw the Hulk one, because like half of his face is like, oh god, yeah.
But that one there, that's Malekith, isn't it, Ryan?
Huh?
That one
Oh,
there is that's Malekith, isn't it?
Yeah, I recognize that. Yeah, he stays there in the F tier.
Yeah,
I wasn't saying it to push him. I was
Oh,
just making
sorry.
sure.
You're just saying that's. Yeah, I just didn't recognize M'Baku for a second. He looked a little bit like T'Chaka, because of that dark lighting in the photo that you had.
Yeah, some of these pictures are really cute. But next up, we've got Trevor Slattery, aka Not the Mandarin.
Slattery, he's. I mean, look, this rewatching Iron Man 3, despite that twist, he served his function much better than fucking Guy Pearce. So he's higher than Guy Pearce in my mind.
Yeah, and I'd actually put him above Malekith.
Well, look, we got him at the.
One more thing. Slightly adjust Nakia to probably be past Quicksilver. That's personally for me because she does like if it wasn't for her getting that heart-shaped herb before Killmonger burned the field, they would not have brought T'Challa back.
It's true.
And
for
that
me,
isn't what I'll actually put Trevor above Scourge because I forgot Scourge.
I think it was cool because we did get the actual cool Mandarin, and then I still love that reveal too. He's like, no, I'm an actor, and then at the end when he's being taken away and there's all the pictures, he's like so happy that he's famous.
But next up, we've got,
even his one shot was kind of nice though. The All Hail the King one shot was nice.
I miss when they did those, like Coulson with the donuts and the convenience store. That was great. I miss one.
Even the Agent Carter one shot was nice.
Yeah. I mean, anything with Agent Carter is great.
Yeah.
To me, so.
And even that one shot, Item 42, where it was just two people. I think Lizzie Kaplan played a random person that got a hand of alien tech. It's like, it was during like, it was like after the Avengers. It's like, what would normal people do if they had that stuff? So that was almost like, if you rewatch that now with Spider-Man Homecoming, that was kind of like, it almost felt like an Easter egg of what ideas they had in mind for the whole year. But, that's me, looking at it that way.
But next up, we've got Ultron.
I like that movie a lot, but
yeah, I like Ultron. I'm probably going. I don't know if I can justify putting him above.
No, you know
so much. But where would you put Ultron?
Yeah, honestly, his movie is kind of underrated when you look at it because. As I was on the whole Josh Whedon train during Ultron. Like, yeah, the studio put too much pressure on him. Like, they want so much like in this film, and then seeing what other directors or other studios were trying to do with their universes, I can understand where Whedon was coming from. But then now seeing what Whedon did with Justice League and how he likes to use the same tropes from his own projects and not try to adapt anything new, I would say ultimately what he did with Ultron did cripple him. Like, I get making him based off of Tony Stark's personality. That made sense. But at the same time, he didn't need to be a dark reflection of Tony Stark. Ultron could have been something original to where you could have tied in to where that would have led into Ant-Man. But that's another story. That's another what's the whole thing? Like script writing for another time. Yeah. I guess he's good for where he is.
I think Age of Ultron's underrated. It's the only actual Avengers adventure movie because when you look at the first one, is them getting together, and then Infinity War and Endgame is like the end of that run for that team. Age of Ultron's the only movie where it's like they're together, they're a team, and here's the adventure they're on. Like it's the only one that's like a regular Avengers comic. Yeah,
I mean, I'd argue that like not so much the movie Age of Ultron is underrated, but Ultron is underrated as a.
I think James Spader, yeah. I love his. There's something about he's just one of those guys that has a really good voice, like.
But next up, is that Baron Murdo, Ryan?
Yes, Carl Baron Murdo. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's difficult. Well, I mean. I'm really trying to decide with him.
Yeah, I mean, I like him. I'd probably put him. I don't know if I can justify putting him above.
Yeah, he's at this stage. Experience, but he's not.
We're probably going to see him in Doctor Strange 2, and he's probably going to start doing more there. But it's like, at this stage, we've only seen him in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate the fact that when we were introduced to him, he didn't become an immediate villain because right now from seeing with Marvel, they take villains from the comics of the MCU and they're building them off as their allies and then become bad guys. But with Murdo, you don't see he's definitely one of those ultimate upcoming villains to where he's kind of like an antagonist, where you can understand his point of view, especially from the Doctor Strange movie, how he was a true believer in the Ancient One. Then they came to realize the Ancient One had pretty much violated the laws of nature, something that he truly believed in. And now you saw him from that mid-credit, he's trying to, in a way, restore the laws of nature. But unfortunately, he is looking at he has a different idea how to do it. In a way, it's kind of like Killmonger.
I see two S tiers just right here, Malcolm.
I will say that both Groots, those are two separate entities from what we've seen in the film. So,
me and Malcolm just kind of slapped them all together.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I think for right now,
shit all over again.
I think for right now he's good for where he is. I like I said, maybe when we review over and over again, I might raise him up higher, but right now he's good.
But next up we've got Valkyrie.
Oh. I got so much from her within her 15 minutes than I did from, honestly, with Murdo, with Quicksilver, with Grant. I mean, Jeff Goldblum was great, but the fact that her character shows up, she's drunk, falls off, comes back up, and still, like, in a drunken stupor, kills a dozen people just to capture Thor.
Yeah, and even when you factor in Infinity War and Endgames, like you get to like her a lot more. But yeah,
she is the new leader of.
I'm probably
she's the new leader of New Asgard. Yeah,
sure.
I put her above Marvel or above Kraglin, honestly.
Yeah, that's where I was going to put her.
I put her in D tier for me.
I mean, I would actually, I put her above Ned in D. I put her.
I'm actually inclined to put her above Pepper Potts. I don't know if I can put her above M'Baku just yet. I probably need to see more from her to do that.
I can completely understand.
Next up, we've got Wasp.
Hope.
I put her in B personally. I really like her.
He is the better version of Scott, honestly.
And that's what I love since the first movie. That's kind of the whole, and especially I love how they leaned into that in Ant-Man Wasp. That's the whole joke, is she's just like consistently better than Scott. And it's great. I think the way Evangeline Lilly plays it is so good. And I love how she's like really cocky, but she also backs it up. Whereas Scott is cocky and kind of just like lucks his way into. So I would put her, actually, if we put Scott in A, I would put her in A. If we're saying she's the better version of Scott.
Also, one thing I loved rewatching Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp, because I think hopefully with Ant-Man 3, her character is not reduced again, because so far I think Ant-Man is almost just like Guardians of the Galaxy. It perfectly exists outside of the main continuity where it can be its own thing. So you can buy how Hope is so good, how she's intelligent, she's strategic, and at the same time, I love the fact that both her parents are alive. They don't have the stupid comic book trope of being dead.
No, it's true, and I definitely think it's setting up for Ant-Man 3. And she's, I don't know, I just love the banter the characters have. Like when his changer has malfunctioned and he's like really little, and he gets back into the car. Want a juice box, bud? Like just the pairing, or when it's Lawrence Fishburne and him are talking about how big they got, and they're like, "All right, if you guys want to start comparing sizes."
And even at the same time, Evangeline, she's able to pull off a simple like mop like that, like the freaking Partridge Family.
The mop top and
the mop top. Yes,
I think her with longer hair. I like her with the longer hair, but she definitely did pull off. I mean, that's also just agreed. Just talking about the first name, and I love. I was in prison for 3 years. I know how to punch people.
like Ant-Man, her arc, honestly overshines Scott's arc to where, like, you see her. Go
their
ahead.
relationship is very genuine too. I like that their romance feels actually. Whereas in some of these comic book movies, it can be a little forced. Theirs feels very opposites attract.
Yes.
It works. Like it
Like they
works.
really grow to like each other. Like even I love that scene between her and Scott in the car, to where Hope, she's just so frustrated with Hank not letting her do anything, that she was just too stubborn. She was too stubborn to see that Hank was trying to protect her. And I like how Scott, as a dad, relates to it. Where he's like, I would, if it was my daughter, I'd do the same thing. And even though I do love the fact that when her mom comes back, it's like that performance Evangeline Lilly gives by seeing her, she immediately reverts to a child seeing her mom again. And I loved it. Like her character gets so much catharsis and her character.
I haven't watched it in a bit. I really need to see it again.
Yeah, I mean the Ant-Man series are very underrated, and I understand people don't.
Number 2 behind Civil War. I love that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's probably a good spot on the A tier for Ross if that's we want to.
I even like she gets her own moment in Endgame. Like it ties the writers even tied it back to Ant-Man and the Wasp, where Scott's like, "Oh, we call him Cap," and then she gets to say it. You know, it's like, "Oh, I'm in the club too."
Next up, we've got Black Widow.
S. I mean, yeah, she's great. You know,
I mean, she was like one of those great characters. Like I like the fact that her movie. I mean, even though her movie is after her end in Endgame, at the same time, it feels earned, honestly, because she's been there.
Character. She's always been since Iron Man 2. She's been a really consistently strong.
Loki, honestly.
Which sadly means Loki's going to be bumped down to A because we're only going to stick to 5 and S tier.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, I mean, given Loki's arc and his TV show coming up, I mean,
Black Widow's going to be kicked out because there's another S tier coming up.
Yeah. And at the same time, the Loki we know from the films is gone, and this is just this is the Loki after Avengers that we're getting in the TV show.
Oh, there's so many.
But next up, we've got Vision.
Maybe B.
I think B's good for him.
Yeah.
I think he's good. Well, because you also get to factor in Jarvis, because he was Jarvis before he became Vision. So I think he is good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's brand new. Like, I mean, despite his small little, despite his brand new introduction in Ultron, they don't try to make you focus on his powers, but more of him trying to adapt, which is why I love him in Civil War, which is why I even like him in Infinity War. Like, he's still like in the early stage of being a hero to realize that
I like
needs.
I like that moment when he just phases through the wall and she's like, "Remember what we talked about?" He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Yeah. I mean, also he had one of the best character introductions, which is he just picks up the hammer.
Yes.
And you're just like, holy! I remember being the fear of my friends, and we're like, "What the fuck?" And he also one of my favorite moments he has too is when he's talking to the last Ultron bot, because it's like that cool thing of like they're both from Tony Stark. They both kind of had the same genesis, but it's kind of the two sides of the coin, the good and the bad, and that conversation they have before it destroys it is great.
Ultron represents the chip on Tony's shoulder to where it's constantly dragging him down, and Ultron not only is the amalgamation of Jarvis, but also has a bit of Ultron's personality in there, and Tony's, and like Bruce said, even Infinity Ultron, even Bruce's own like personalities inserted in there. So Ultron is Vision's pretty much he's grasping the best of all of them.
But next up we've got Vulture.
I say high B. He's really good. He's only been in one movie, but he's insanely good in that movie. He's a relatable villain because he gets screwed over by S.H.I.E.L.D. And he's Michael freaking Keaton in the MC. I mean, I'm sorry, just the scene in the car. That's all you need. You just need the scene in the car.
I mean, I like him. I don't think I can justify putting him above Killmonger though. So I'm going to say C, which means kind of Ryan, you're kind of in a position where it's like you can choose B or C for Vulture.
I would kind of put Vulture somewhere in B. I like him being a relatable villain, but during Phase 3, he should have been the only relatable villain. That way, all the other villains coming next, you could find some disconnect with them, but at the same time, still see them like as the bad guy of the film.
Yeah.
Sure. I still love. I still remember the first time I saw Homecoming, and Peter goes to the door and he's there because you have that moment where you're like, wait, did he find out who Peter Parker is? Like, and then you're like, oh no, he's the dad. Wow, okay.
Right. This time we actually have War Machine. It is not Falcon. But yeah, I mean, War Machine. I'm probably. I'm actually inclined to put War Machine just below Falcon. Ryan, whereabouts would you put War Machine? Choo-choo.
Oh, sorry guys, I was in a conversation. Oh, I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
I said it's all good.
Who are we on?
War Machine. At the moment, I've got him about there.
I don't know what your limit is on the B tier. Personally, for me,
I don't have any limit on the other tiers.
I would put him on B tier or like high B tier for me because, like because War Machine has been the confidant. Well, I mean, other than Pepper and Jarvis, Rhodes is the next best thing to. He's the closest to a brother that Tony Stark is gonna have. Like we've seen, like from Terrence Howard or Don Cheadle, Rhodes has been that person who Tony has confided in. I mean, seriously, before, like after he made the Iron Man suit, Rhodes was the first person Tony said he was Iron Man, and then Pepper followed, and then the rest of the world came afterwards. So, despite how close how future he wanted to see with Pepper, I mean, the fact that Tony not only, I mean, of course, he gives him like in Iron Man 2, as low rated as people see it, Rhodes has a code to get into Tony's workshop. He has access to he can access any of his suits. That's why I love that scene between Fury and Stark at the donut shop, because Tony, he trusts his friends more than he trusts himself. And then even going forward with Iron Man 3, like the buddy relationship between the two are fantastic. And then seeing how in Captain America: Civil War, Rhodes gets hurt badly, Tony does everything in his power to at least get Rhodes back to where he used to be. That's why I loved his relationship with the kinship he developed with Nebula. Both of them have been limited in life, and so they make do with what they got.
That top row of the B tier makes you want to put a purple or blue tinge on Hank Pym.
That's true. So Hank didn't show up, and then he wasn't in the Avengers movie, so he stays there.
But next up, we've got Whiplash.
Oh, that was potential completely crippled, so I would have to put him in the F tier.
Yeah, I'm probably going to put him sort of just under Trevor Slattery. He's fine. He's not anything special. Next up, we've got Wong.
I would put him maybe. I mean, with the limited stuff we had seen of him, going from Strange and Infinity War, and of course his small bit in Endgame. I mean, like, yeah, we don't see a lot of him. I may high E or low D personally.
Yeah, I was thinking sort of high E, sort of just above Kraglin.
Maybe like put him next to Ned, honestly, or maybe next to Maria.
Yeah, actually, that.
Because I'm just saying, like, he does, even though he's a bit of a he's not on Strange's bad side. It's just more of, it's it's hard. Like, even though he's not used much, but still he's a strong character in his own, which is why I liked how after Strange says that line, well, you should have stolen the whole book because the warnings come after the spells. That laugh still gets me because that's like the first time Strange is actually, I mean, like even the big banter between them is like, people usually think I'm funny. Did they work for you? Until it's kind of like, yeah, I see you are funny.
But next up we've got Stanley.
Oh God! I mean, if this was the S tier Kearns was talking about, then I would almost say he's an S tier, if not a high A.
I mean, I this is one that I kind of want to throw him in S tier, but also don't want to push.
You should make an exception and put 6 on the S tier.
I mean, just because it's Stanley, I'm going to do this.
Okay.
I'm creating a official god tier.
Nice. All right. Then he would be perfect. I think you dropped him somewhere within the E or the D range. Oh, there you C. He's on C.
It's because
like they accidentally put new as God. They put God as S tier. Oh, that's the color. That's why. Because
it's because I renamed in doing it. I renamed S tier to God. Yeah. Here we are.
Yeah, you can't.
He's the only one I'm putting there too. I'm not putting anyone else there. Because I know someone who is coming up, which is Stallone, which I know what Cruz is going to say because he's Stallone. Next up, we got Yondu.
Oh, that dude. He personally, for me, he's definitely. I mean, despite his his arc in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, that puts the first Guardians of the Galaxy into a whole new different perspective. So he's definitely in the B tier for me.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's definitely one that I mean, I don't know if I'd probably put him above the Hulk. I don't think I can put him above Vision or Baby Groot or Groot.
No, you have a point. I mean,
it's
not like we're judging on power, but character-wise, I mean, Yondu's character, he's been since.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been unfortunately, he's kind of like one of those dads who can't get anything right, but he still at his heart is putting the kids' needs above his own. I mean, he comes off as the tough dad because he's running a group of pirates, but when it came to Quill, he clearly, like anybody, like in the first Guardians, you see that he could have at any moment have killed Quill as ruthlessly as he did with so many other people, but he always kept giving, like even Quill being so quick-witted, it just shows that Quill learned the best stuff from Yondu in order to get himself out of so many hairy situations. The only thing that prevents Quill from being the better version of himself is unfortunately his baggage, his emotional baggage. And sometimes Yondu, he kind of enabled that emotional baggage. So, I kind of hope that if with Guardians of the Galaxy 3, we get to see Quill become a better version of himself. But if it's the same flawed human, I wouldn't be against that.
But next up, we've got John Rogg, Jude Law from Captain Marvel. I mean, the character's fine. I'll probably put him above Whiplash.
Yeah, he serves his purpose, honestly. I mean, I get like he's Alien-esque. I mean, maybe Jude Law just didn't want to be put in blue makeup. So I'm fine with that.
I don't know who that is.
That's Helmut Zemo.
Oh, it is.
I would put Zemo. Oh, I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
No, I just said where you gonna put him.
Oh, I would put Zemo in the maybe low D tier. I mean, look, it's mainly judging him overall, but his motivation solely in Civil War, it was a very like, even though people don't like the fact that he brings apart the Avengers, his motive, but the way he did it through subterfuge, manipulation, and sabotage. So he did he used exactly what, like, in his background as a trained assassin, a trained soldier of fortune. He used exactly his skills. Like, he wasn't trying to kill the Avengers. Like he said, he was trying to turn them against each other. And he knew exactly how to turn them against each other. It wasn't going to be the frickin' Accords. It was going to be using the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, and like the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV series may push him up on this, but for now, that's a probably good spot for him. Next up, we've got Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, he's an immediate F tier, honestly. He was just another like mirror version of not just Scott, but he was pretty much like the oh my god, what's the phrase? Like, you know how Hank he's pretty much the word. He's pretty much what Ultron. He's like the comic version of Ultron, the character, you know, because he's mentored by Hank Pym, unfortunately, bad fallout, so he becomes bitter, takes over his company, and then, you know, tries to manipulate his technology. So he's pretty much just kind of like, no. Best example of Yellow Jacket. It's like X-24 in Logan. He's meant to be the younger, more darker version of Hank Pym. And then he gets on the Yellow Jacket suit, then it's like, oh, he's supposed to be like the other. So he was too much of a mirror version and too much of a simple trope villain to have his own personality.
I've just rearranged some because I've only got a little bit of time for I have to go to work, which means this will be ending then. So I thought there was some people I wanted to try and make sure get talked about. Some of the other ones that are left, they're like throwaway characters.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to touch on this some other time, then yeah, that's all right. I
mean, we may continue the rest of this, or I may just leave off because we've got a lot of the bigger ones on there already. But next up we've got MJ from the Spider-Man movies, Zendaya.
I would put her. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, this is one that I do like, but I would probably put her in D, just ahead of Ned.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, put her right above Ned. Her role in Homecoming, unfortunately, I liked how she's one of the smarter students who figure out Peter's Spider-Man, but at the same time, I was hoping that Zendaya's character would be an original character and not MJ. And then when they did that at the end of Homecoming, I'm like, okay, maybe she's not going to be exactly like MJ. But then, of course, you know, they just kept calling her MJ throughout Homecoming, throughout Far From Home. And I'm like, you guys remember she has a first name, Michelle. So it was kind of like one of those little surprise twists that I didn't think was needed.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like it was shoehorned.
But next one up, we've got Jane Foster.
I mean, I love Natalie Portman, but she's been on record so many times that she was not like happy with the role she was given. I mean, now hopefully with Love and Thunder, we'll see her actually get to be good, like actually put more effort in. Because I rewatched The Dark World, and man, she just really is phoning it in at times.
I mean, I don't think she wouldn't have agreed to come back if it wasn't going to be a interest, like if she wasn't happy with what that was proposed. And I think with the fact she's going to be Lady 4 in this, then I think the fact that she's going to get to do a lot more in this. So, but for now, I'm probably going to lean towards her in F, maybe just ahead of Janet Van Dyne. I don't know if I can put her above Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Any objections?
She. Oh God, I really have none. I mean, I want to think of a positive thing. I mean, it's Natalie Portman, and I think, I think she's good for right there.
Next up, we've got Mysterio.
Well, there's another one-off villain. Look, Jake Gyllenhaal, he gave a great performance in that character. I just can't see him anywhere higher than B.
Yeah, that's probably where I was leaning towards. And I mean, it's one of those ones for now. He is a one-off villain, but we don't really know if we're going to see him again. To be honest, he could pop up again in Spider-Man 3. But for now, I think it's a tail end to B. I don't think I can put him above Spider-Man himself. So
I mean, if Spider-Man 3 is going to be talking about the multiverse, then there could be an opportunity we get a glimpse of Mysterio. So
yeah,
who knows what Beck we're going to get? We're going to get the comic betrayal Beck, or are we going to get a different version of Beck?
Next up, we've got Squidward / Voldemort.
Ebony Maw.
Yeah. I mean, for what we got, I enjoyed, but I don't know. It's like, and this is my issue with a lot of these Children of Thanos. They're only there as cannon fodder in Endgame. So I don't know if I can justify putting them higher than F.
I mean, you do have a point, but although compared with the other children, like he and Proxima were the only effective. Well, he was actually more effective than the other children of Thanos. My problem is that we never got to see Gamora or Nebula interact with any of them, which was a big was a big downgrade for me. So maybe a low E, honestly, like right behind Ghost, but behind Ghost or between Ghost and Claw.
Yeah, I mean, I think between Ghost and Claw. I
mean, it's like I was saying, like we get introduced to him. He's pretty much, you already can tell he's a believer. And then when he gets onto Earth, he's able to combat Strange and Wong together by having, and then he overpowers Strange. He's able to outmaneuver and overpower Strange. And of course, yeah, the way he's taken out, it's more of he should have noticed Peter Parker, or he should have noticed that he should have been aware of his ship's frail design. So yeah, low E's. That's where he goes.
So next up, we've got Meek. He's dead.
Oh no, you're alive. I think he's a low E as well. We don't. I mean, he's literally just he's literally Korg's sidekick. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, Meek doesn't.
I'm just probably actually Flash Thompson. I think is another one that I'm probably going to put maybe on the other side of Nedge. Like he's fine, but
Tony Revolori does a good job as the character of Flash. He gives us a different version of him, which I like. And
I mean, what I'm really hoping to is if they ever go to do a Venom storyline, that we actually get him as Agent Venom in the MCU.
I guess for me, it would really require like a good story for me to buy him, because right now they did a good job in Far From Home showing that he is like they're tying into they're showing he's a Spider-Man fan. He like even in that little thing before Peter shows up, like he wants to be a better person, and then of course he revolts back into his into his douchebag persona. But even then, you see him; he's trying to live like his best life. And then, of course, like another guy he's like another kid who he's got well-off parents, neglected. It's almost as if Far From Home was trying to give him so much baggage that you'd feel sorry for him the moment he becomes Venom. But even then, what Tony Revolori did with Far From Home and Homecoming, you at least see that there is a better person of him, and he has some good legitimate arguments. But it's because he acts like a douchebag, you don't see him as anything better than what he's portrayed as.
Yeah, I mean, and the last one I do before we finish, I'm going to do Obadiah Stone. Another Iron Man villain. It's like, but I'm probably going to lean towards maybe putting him there.
I think he was a more effective Iron Man villain, honestly, because he knew Tony so well and the company. So the fact he was able to actually manipulate the whole behind the scenes, the fact he did arrange for Tony to get kidnapped and nearly killed. I mean, he arranged for Tony to get killed, which led to Tony getting kidnapped. So if it wasn't for Obadiah Stane, we never would have gotten that turn into Tony Stark. So he does jump higher in F tier.
We bet Stu put him.
I mean, because if we're looking at Tony's whole change in the beginning, yeah, it would not if it wasn't for Obadiah Stone, Tony would never have had that change of heart, that rude awakening. But even then, with Jeff Bridges, though, he immediately reverts into a villain, like in the third act. So he's not there enough to get into D tier personally.
Yeah. So I'll leave him there, just sort of before Ghosts. But with that, that does bring us to the end of this. Matt's still around somewhere. He may be back to plug his stuff, but if he doesn't, watch the Fandom podcast on Take 3. He'll be back next year or this year. I don't know what time is over there at the moment. And watch Second Look. It's really great. But why can people find you online?
People can go to my YouTube channel, Mount Schmodown. If you are fans of the movie Trivia Schmodown, check it out. My co-host and I, myself and my two other co-hosts, we do player profile breakdowns of many of the trivia players in the Schmodown. Go to our channel. We've done 14 episodes so far, and this upcoming Saturday, we're doing a crossover with another fellow Schmodown after show, the Schmoes in the North, as we are going to talk about the career of Ken Knapsack, the bearded one, the first Star Wars champion, I think he's the $6 million man of the Schmodown, the crown jewel of the Schmodown. There's nothing this man can do. Myself, my co-host, and our special guest, we're going to have a blast talking about him. And our time's going to be at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard, 4 o'clock Eastern. So please check us out. YouTube, Mount Schmodown, Twitter, Mount Schmodown.
But yeah, you can find me on Take 3. Rankin will be back on Sunday where we talk about the top 12 movies of 2020. Will be a different style. It'll be everyone will be going through everyone's lists individually, just so we find out what everyone's own personal top 12 is, as opposed to doing a collective. But as well, I like doing the best movies of 2020 because I really don't like doing the ranking style for that, because everyone's got their own opinions and all that. But with you can also find me on Late Night. We will probably be back next week. I'll start trying to be more regular with this next year. There'll be a bunch of other shows. There's one that I'm currently in the works of doing, which is going to be an interview style show in which I interview various content creators and stuff and talk to them. So that's going to be fun. And you can also find me over on Full Metal. Where I host Full Metal Classic and Full Metal Random. Both of those are kind of on break at the moment. Random will be back on January the 12th, or somewhere around there, with the Christopher Nolan Random match. And yeah, and until next year or 2021, depending on where you are in the world, we'll see you.